CTV News.
Good evening, I'm Michelle Maluske. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, a man has died and a young girl is in hospital with survivable injuries after an accident near Hanover. West Grey police say it happened Thursday evening on Side Road 5, but they aren't providing any information about what happened, other than to say it was a single vehicle accident. Well, you could call it a turf war brewing in northeast London. A group of homeowners say the federal government is reneging on a decades-long understanding about their unusual fence line. CTV's Daryl Newcomb has our top story.
Here, all the way over.
Marion Weeder is among the homeowners facing big changes to their properties after Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada's Research and Development Centre in northeast London decided to install a new fence. Her backyard is among 4 with bump outs that the federal government says encroaches onto their property, so the shed and gardens must be removed.
It's about 4 feet by, then it goes over to here about 50 feet.
Neighbors say the bump outs in the fence line were installed 38 years ago with the consent of the federal agency in order to preserve some pre-existing trees.
I'm standing just behind me was a tree that was over 5 feet in diameter that actually had a massive branch going over the homes.
City Councillor Peter Cuddy is frustrated that the federal agency is being so strict.
This is a perfect opportunity and a good illustration of where common sense really comes into play here.
Recently, neighbors were given a deadline to have their fences, sheds, and gardens moved because the feds will be installing a chain-link fence.
Rectify the encroachment no later than April 30th, 2026.
Weeder is also concerned about the security and privacy of 10 additional homes, arguing that a chain-link fence will allow headlights from the parking lot to shine directly into the homes.
We'd like to go back to the identical fence that we do have in the position that it exists today. If they want to sell us the property, I am more than happy for them to sell us the property.
At this point, it seems very draconian, the way that they're handling this. And we're very, very fortunate that we've had some very good MPs.
Yeah.
We started with Lindsay Matheson and then Kurt Holman, and now Peter Fragiskatos.
Fragiskatos has asked the neighbors if they're willing to consider a compromise that he can bring forward on their behalf.
The group is talking about a wood fence with adjustments made to take into account the current placement of sheds and gardens and things of that nature. I think the group is acting constructively. My intention is to take that message forward.
In the meantime, Weeder's baffled why the narrow strip of land suddenly became so important to the federal government.
All it is in behind us is grass. They've never used it.
Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
The opening of a micro-shelter project for the homeless in South London near the 401 has been delayed. Staff originally projected the site to open this month, but the city says recent weather conditions have postponed it. Freezing and thawing along with rain and snow has made the ground unstable. The 60 modular shelters cost the city roughly $1.2 million. A new opening date has not been set. The deadline has now passed for employees at the Cami assembly plant in Ingersoll to take buyout packages. Initially offered in mid-December, employees had the option to take 6 months' pay plus future options amid uncertainty about the future of the factory. According to Unifor Local 88, 103 of the 200 employees who were eligible took retirement or termination packages, representing about 10% of the unionized workforce. About 1,000 people remain out of work. Still grieving the loss of friends and colleagues killed on the job, a Tillsonburg area family of tow truck operators is demanding the public take notice. They've wrapped one of their trucks with powerful images and reminders to slow down and move over, as CTV's Sean Irvin will show us.
Mike and Jen Dean are just 2 members of a family business committed to getting drivers out of trouble. But after too many close calls and the recent death of an industry colleague, they've taken a new approach. They acknowledge the unveiling of this wrapped tow truck is a desperate attempt to protect themselves and others rushing to traumatic scenes.
And so we're honoring first responders, whether it's paramedics, EMS, fire, as well as tow truck operators, because we are considered first responders.
The key message on the truck is a declaration to slow down and move over.
The slow down, move over isn't just a slogan.
It's for our lives, right? For the police officer, for the fireman, for the construction worker, for the tow truck driver.
The passion in Mike's voice reflects the frustration and fear of a father and business owner. In the last few years, the Dean family has said goodbye to a close friend killed while helping a stranded motorist. And they've also dodged far too many near misses of their own. The closest call for Jen, who was also an auxiliary police officer, occurred just days after the recent 401 crash.
I was doing a recovery of a rolled over vehicle and a vehicle swerved towards me. The driver was laughing, thought it was funny, and almost killed me and killed the tow truck that stopped to block for me.
It is hoped this truck will help change driver attitudes.
Now, one thing tow operators are pushing for is a change in the color of their hazard lights to improve safety.
The Deans say the towing industry wants lights similar in color to those of other emergency responders.
The red and blue lights bring that notice of they think it's police. So instinctively, what do you do when you see a police officer? You slow down. Well, if that's going to be enough for somebody to slow down so that I don't die at the end of the day, that's good enough for me. And it would be nice if they would change the laws so that we can have the lights that we need to have for safety.
Near Tilsonburg, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Staff and students at St. Thomas Aquinas High School in West London were evacuated from the building this afternoon after a noxious substance was discharged. CTV News has learned pepper spray was sprayed into a small area. It's made its way into the building's HVAC system, which was shut down after staff detected a foreign smell. Staff and students were sent out as a precaution until the fire department gave the all clear. London police have launched 2 new citizen advisory councils. On social media today, the LPS announced openings on a youth advisory council as well as an adult council. Both would provide advice right to the chief of police. There are 24 positions to fill. To Minneapolis now, where life continues to be very tense following the fatal ICE shooting. A warning to our viewers, some graphic new video has surfaced of the moments before the shooting. It gives a closer look from the officer's perspective of what happened the moments before and after the shots were fired.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. It's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. Get out of the ball.
That video was captured by Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent Jonathan Ross. A Department of Homeland Security official confirmed the video was recorded on the agent's cell phone camera. It was originally obtained by the Minnesota media outlet Alpha News. A southwestern Ontario woman is sharing the frustration of an internet blackout half a world away. Protests across Iran are leaving many families abroad struggling to reach loved ones and piece together what's happening back home.
Like, I had to go to class today. I was in the class, but I couldn't even listen because I had my earphone on my one ear and having the live news.
Elnaz Akhavan is a PhD candidate and research assistant at the University of Windsor. She moved to Canada from Iran in January of 2021. She says the distance has never felt greater. As protests continue across Iran, authorities have restricted internet and phone access, making it difficult for people to communicate or even verify what's happening there on the ground. With those connections out, Akhavan says she hasn't been able to speak with her mother or other family and friends since the blackout started. Despite the fear and uncertainty, she says many people opposed to the current government feel a sense of hope and that something may be changing.
We can feel like something is changing there, but the problem here is even us, we just, for me, it was like, okay, so what can I do? Like, I'm not there. What can I do that I'm here? What we saw, like from outside with the videos and stuff that, or talking to our friends or families, that was unbelievable.
Over 100,000 Perth County turkeys were humanely disposed of as part of an avian flu investigation. 4 outbreaks of avian flu near Listowel have led to the culling of approximately 124,000 turkeys. 5 outbreaks were discovered near Strathroy in November, leading to the culling of 30,000 turkeys. There are currently 50 farm-based avian flu outbreaks in Canada. Most of them are in BC. If you're without a family doctor, you're not alone. The Ontario Medical Association says the situation is bad now, and they warn it's only going to get worse. CTV's Luke Simard explains.
There isn't enough new family physicians entering family medicine, and so this shortage, unfortunately, will only continue and increase.
Nearly 2.5 million Canadians do not have a family doctor. According to Ontario Medical Association, that number will continue to rise through 2026.
We're expecting that to go up to 4.4 million. And this just reflects that the number of family doctors planning to retire continues to grow.
Hospitals and health centers throughout Ontario continue recruitment efforts.
When I'm taking on patients, they haven't had a doctor for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, and you can see what's building up over that time. You can see chronic disease developing. You can see cancers that are missed, screening that hasn't been done in decades.
Team-based care is one solution that the OMA says can alleviate some of the extensive problems they've identified with family health care.
So really building these core teams around the family doctors will help them care for more patients. Also, we want to ensure that we're giving all the resources that they need to provide that best care to help prevent complications, also to provide care for chronic issues, and give them more support structurally.
The OMA says they are working with the government to increase a team-based approach, which would mean better treatment for families and less doctor and staff burnout. Luke Simard, CTV News, Barrie.
3 local players have cracked Team Canada's women's roster for the upcoming Olympics.
Julia Gosling, London, Ontario.
That's right. London's Julia Gosling, Natalie Spooner, and Ella Shelton made the 23-player lineup today. With Canada's women's Olympic hockey roster set, Spooner shared the real battle isn't just on the ice. Here's CTV's John Venevali-Rao with more on the cost of chasing gold.
Hey, how's it going? We caught up with Natalie Spooner at the rink ahead of a practice as she reflected on just being named once again to the women's Olympic hockey team.
I mean, it's a dream come true. I'm so excited, overcome with emotion, but really just looking forward to getting there with our team.
Spooner's been with Team Canada to the Olympics 3 times before, twice striking gold, and now plays pro hockey with the Toronto Scepters. In part today, drawing attention to athlete funding. These scratch and win tickets in Ontario celebrate a program called Quest for Gold that sees lottery money help to fund the province's athletes, many of whom have struggled financially.
For me, Quest for Gold has helped me a lot throughout my career, whether it's training costs, gym costs, physio costs, accommodation.
With the Olympics in Italy weeks away, it is drawing attention to the money challenges Canadian athletes face, with some having a tough time paying rising team fees that can be in the tens of thousands of dollars, on top of covering travel and equipment, food and rent.
Certainly many go into debt to fund their Olympic careers. And I worry that their Olympic careers are shortened because of the financial burden that puts upon them.
Some point to countries like Italy and France, which spend more than 10 times as much per person on sport. Ottawa hasn't increased core funding for national sports organizations in 20 years, and there was no new money for them in the last federal budget. Athletes say instead of focusing on training, many have to work.
We've got athletes that work in part-time retail at the mall. Most of the ones I know are in some sort of debt. It's just part of chasing that dream here.
According to one nonprofit funding group, 3 out of 5 athletes who've applied for money are in debt. Just over half work.
There is carding money from the government. Could it be increased to meet inflation? For sure.
And with all the recent talk about spending more on nation building, many athletes believe sport should be a part of that. John Venevali-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
The London Knights hosted the Brantford Bulldogs tonight.
Good interview with Sophie Quick. Shot, scores! Ben Gore!
Jesse Nurmi scoring the only goal of the game for the London Knights. The Bulldogs dominated the second period, scoring 4 goals. The final here, 4-1 for the Bulldogs. The Knights are back at it tomorrow, hosting the Erie Otters. A Chatham couple proved the best place to say I do might just be center ice. Stay tuned. Strength in the basic materials sector helped the TSX gain more than 230 points. In New York, the Dow was up almost 240 and the NASDAQ 191. The loonie slipped 0.16 of a cent. Gold jumped just over $40 an ounce. Oil rose $1.36 a barrel. London's unemployment rate saw a sharp increase last month. In December, it skipped to 7.6%, up from 7% in November. Meanwhile, the national unemployment rate rose to 6.8%, up from 6.5% the month before. The U.S. Supreme Court did not issue a decision today in the high-profile case challenging Donald Trump's tariffs. The case is centered around whether Trump overstepped his presidential powers by using a decades-old law and declaring a national emergency to impose these sweeping tariffs. The delay keeps tariffs and uncertainty in place for businesses and American trading partners. The province of Ontario is suing Keel Digital Solutions for what it calls fraudulent misrepresentation related to contracts with the Ministry of Colleges and Universities. The same company is at the center of the Skills Development Fund scandal. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris has the details.
The Ford government wants $27 million from Keel Digital Solutions. For 3 years, funding flowed from the Ministry of Colleges and Universities for an online program to offer mental health support to students. The government now accuses the company of deceit and obstruction, of inflating the number of help sessions to drive up its payout. In a filing with Ontario's Superior Court, the government writes, the false reports caused the Crown to pay the corporate defendants millions of dollars that they otherwise would not have been paid. The government's claims haven't been tested in court. Last month, the OPP's anti-rackets branch launched an investigation into this. Keel has denied wrongdoing and says a counterclaim is coming. In a statement, their COO calls the government suit deeply flawed, built on misstatements and outright inaccuracies, stressing that Keel Digital has never been involved in any fraudulent activity, and they fully expect the government to be compelled to retract its claims, apologize, and answer for the recklessness and malice that drove this case. This suit puts the spotlight back on the Minister of Labour and the $2.5 billion Skills Development Fund.
Speaker, we don't need anyone on this side of the House to tell us to support our first responders, to support their training, to support their mental health.
Puccini's admitted to boosting Keel's low-scoring application for cash. The suit makes clear the money went out the door after a deep dive into the company's billing had begun.
It doesn't make a lot of sense for one ministry to issue or to launch an audit into a company and then for another ministry to give them $7 million. That's either incompetence or corruption.
Puccini's rinkside outing and a trip to Paris to spend time with Keel-connected friends have been under scrutiny. The Premier said this week he has no plans to move his minister.
With any program that large, there's going to be tweaks, and that's what we're going to do. And do I have confidence in David Puccini? Yes, I do.
Baffling to the Liberals.
How can the minister still be there? The minister's still there because the Premier is actively engaged, and his government, in covering this up.
Puccini is under investigation by Ontario's Integrity Commissioner, checking if he broke any ethics rules in awarding taxpayer funds. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Good evening. As we head into the night, the winds will start to subside. They were gusting earlier today, upwards of 90 kilometers per hour. As a result, Environment Canada had issued a wind warning. That's all thanks to this big low pressure system that is on its way out. It brought some warmer temperatures, believe it or not. We climbed to a record high 13 degrees today. Now we are going to tumble right back down as the air mass changes in behind this system, and we'll be dealing with a rain-snow mix in the near future. I'll break down the full forecast for you coming up after the break.
And now, as promised, Rita Ismail joins us with a look at our full weather forecast.
Michelle, we had record-breaking temperatures right across the region. Here in London, we hit 13 degrees. Our previous record was back in 1949, 10 degrees. Overnight, it was mild at 7. We're supposed to be around -2 for the high and -10. We were nowhere near that. Record low -21 in 1943. As we head into the night, we have a few clouds in play. That low pressure system that pushed through brought with it some gusty winds, and as a result, there was a wind warning issued by Environment Canada. Upwards of 90-kilometer-per-hour winds across the Great Lakes region throughout the day today. They are subsiding as we head into the night. Now, as one system exits, we get ready for the next one, and this will bring a mixed bag of weather for your Saturday afternoon. We'll start Saturday off under mostly cloudy conditions, and then a mix of rain and snow between 3 and 5 p.m. before we shift to a northwesterly wind, and we all know what that means. The winds will gust over Lake Huron, ushering in lake effect flurries for your Sunday. Now, as far as tomorrow goes, the morning will be quiet, but things will change drastically for the afternoon. We're expecting to remain on the milder side in terms of our temperatures. Rain-snow mix pushing in after 3 p.m. The winds will shift out of the east 20 kilometers per hour ahead of that system that'll move through from the south, and that's why we're warming up to 6 degrees. As it moves out, though, the winds shift yet again out of the northwest for Sunday. So for your Saturday in the afternoon, be prepared for a rain-snow mix, and then we drop down to -2. That's going to be the high for Sunday before we drop back down and the winds pick up. There'll be a wind chill in effect as well on Sunday, and that will bring some scattered flurries. Heading into Monday, mix of sun and cloud, and then things will really drop back down. Cold Arctic air mass returns next week, late in the week. So a week from today, keeping in mind we hit 13 degrees for our high today. Next Friday, -6, feeling like -15 under a mix of sun and cloud. Midwestern Ontario, similar pattern for you. 2 degrees is your high for Saturday. That system, though, bringing more wet snow. Not the probability for freezing rain on the lower end for you. Sunday, light snowfall, and we'll hold on to that type of activity throughout Midwestern Ontario pretty much from Sunday right up until Wednesday. On and off flurries, some light snowfall associated with weak low pressure systems that will move through. And then Thursday, mostly cloudy. Cold air moves right back in. On Friday, -8. It'll feel like about -16 for parts of the region. Michelle?
Thanks so much, Rita. High temperatures that Rita talked about today prompted flood watches in several local watersheds. Warnings began to roll out on Wednesday and now cover a wide swath of the region. Water levels are expected to peak overnight, with flows remaining high headed into next week. This is what it looked like along the Thames River in West London today, with high winds and water flowing rapidly. Residents are reminded to stay away from all bodies of water. Beautiful but dangerous. That's how emergency officials describe the latest natural phenomenon to blanket shorelines around the Great Lakes this winter. CTV's Scott Miller tells us why.
Waves violently crash against monstrous ice shelves that have formed along the shoreline of Kincardine.
You know, every winter we get it. We wonder when the lake's going to start to freeze over. And of course, we're wondering when people are going to go out and see how it looks and how far they're going to go out.
Ice shelves cover most of Kincardine's shoreline. Even its southern pier is covered in ice. It's a similar story along most of Lake Huron's entire shoreline, as waves have carried accumulating ice and snow to shore. With no place to go, the ice and snow go up, sometimes 10 to 15 feet in the air, creating beautiful but dangerous conditions for those mistakenly heading out onto the mountainous structures.
When they look like they are solid mounds, they're actually caves and they're hollow inside. So going and venturing out on top of them is something we don't recommend at all, because you could fall through, and to be quite honest, no one's around. So it's incredibly dangerous for people in the public to do that.
Watson says at least a couple of times a year, Kincardine's emergency services respond to someone walking out on the ice shelves. Thankfully, no one has fallen through recently, but Watson says if someone did, it would be nearly impossible to save them.
So if you can imagine someone falling through a top of an ice cave, who's going to see them? once we get out here, is it something practical that we can actually go out and help someone and save them? We have to make that determination. We're going to do everything we can, obviously, to save someone and save a life. But in circumstances like this, there's so many unknowns that we don't want to ever put people at risk.
Watson says although majestic, the ice shelves along Kincardine shoreline or any shoreline are simply too unstable to be walking on. They can change any second, and death is almost a certainty if you fall through.
Don't go past the sand edge. Like, as soon as you start seeing that ice, there's water underneath it. The water got up there somehow. So stay off the ice, enjoy the scenery, enjoy a sunset.
In Kincardine, Scott Miller, CTV News.
With thousands of people on the guest list, 2 OHL superfans tied the knot last night at center ice during the Windsor Spitfires game. CTV's Travis Fortnum has more on the Chatham couple's nuptials.
For one Chatham couple, I Do didn't happen in a church or banquet hall. It happened at center ice. Surrounded by friends, family, some mascots, and thousands of Windsor Spitfires fans.
It's definitely a unique experience, and I didn't expect this to happen at all.
Sheldon Cadott and Daleen Trudell tied the knot Thursday night during the second intermission of a Spits home game on the team's Elvis-themed night at the WFCU Center. And it's a bit of a full-circle moment for the pair, who got engaged on the very same ice last spring. Sheldon dropping to one knee during an intermission game of human bowling.
That was a fun moment. They let me grab the microphone to propose to her, and she said yes, so I won.
In the fall, it was the team who came to them with a big idea for their big day.
I do.
We get a call from Windsor saying, hey, do you want to do the on-ice wedding? And we said sure, and now we're standing here because it's the day to do it.
I do. Ceremony, the ice time, a private suite for family and friends, and even a hotel room for the night, all covered, making this the first ever wedding held during a Windsor Spitfires game. And despite the crowd watching, the couple says the moment still felt intimate.
It's really nice to know that in one way or form we'll go down in history for doing something like this. So half these people, we won't see them again. So it'll just be our friends and family that we brought. We'll see them again, and they can nag us for it. We can manage that.
Travis Fortnum, CTV News.
That's it for us. Thank you so much for watching. From all of us at CTV News London, I'm Michelle Maluske. Have a great night.